this is not just a story. It is a mystery that still haunts the people who heard about it. Ali, a 22-year-old university student, was traveling from Lahore to Islamabad on a late-night bus. He thought it would be just another ordinary journey. But what happened that night, no one could ever explain. It was past midnight when the bus rumbled out of the Lahore terminal. The station, usually bustling with shouting vendors and honking vehicles, now felt eerily silent. Ollie found his seat near the window, adjusted his backpack, and plugged in his earphones. The hum of the engine and faint snores of passengers soon filled the dimly lit bus. Outside, the highway stretched into darkness. Street lamps stood far apart, their yellow glow flickering weakly. The world seemed empty. Ollie scrolled aimlessly through his phone, but the weak network left most pages half-loaded. Finally, he slipped the phone into his pocket and leaned against the cold glass window. The night was quiet, too quiet. As the bus sped along, Ali noticed something strange. The road ahead was empty, completely empty. No trucks, no cars, not even motorbikes. On this busy highway that was impossible, Ali frowned. He leaned closer to the window, pressing his forehead against the glass. The headlights of the bus cut through the foggy darkness, but there was nothing ahead, nothing behind. It felt as if their bus was the only vehicle alive in a world that had gone silent. Ali tried to brush it off. Maybe it's just late. Maybe traffic is light tonight, he told himself. But deep inside, uneasiness settled in. Around 2 a.m., the bus slowed as it approached a sharp curve along a deserted stretch. Ali sat up straighter, his eyes widening. There, in the middle of the road, stood a woman. She was dressed entirely in white. Her long black hair fell over her face, hiding her features. She didn't move, didn't wave, didn't look up. She simply stood, perfectly still. The driver cursed under his breath and slammed the brakes. Tires screeched against the asphalt. Passengers jolted awake, some gasping in confusion. Ollie's heart pounded. He blinked once, twice trying to focus. But when the bus stopped completely, the road was empty. The woman had vanished. A wave of nervous chatter spread through the bus. One man muttered, "I swear I saw someone." Another scoffed nervously. Maybe it was a shadow, or a trick of the lights. An elderly woman clutched her prayer beads tightly, whispering verses under her breath. The driver wiped sweat from his forehead, his hands trembling as he shifted gears again. "Stay calm, everyone," he said hoarsely. "There was nothing there. Let's just keep moving." But Ollie knew what he saw. The image of the woman in white, standing motionless in the headlights, was burned into his mind. The bus rolled on, the silence heavier than before. Most passengers tried to fall back asleep, but Ollie remained alert, staring at the empty road. Then he heard it, a faint whisper. At first, it sounded like a breeze brushing past his ear. He shook his head. Maybe he was imagining things. But then the whisper grew clearer, like a voice speaking directly to him. He turned quickly, expecting to see the person in the seat behind him. But the seat was empty. Ali's pulse raced. He sat back, gripping the armrest tightly, and then he felt it. a cold breath against the back of his neck. Someone or something was sitting right next to him. Ollie froze. Slowly, painfully, he turned his head to the left. His blood ran cold. There she was, the woman in white, sitting just one seat away. Her long black hair still covered her face, her head tilted downward at an unnatural angle. Ali's lips parted, but no sound came out. He tried to scream, but his throat was locked tight with fear. The woman twitched suddenly, her head jerking as though she was about to look at him. Ollie squeezed his eyes shut. When he opened them again, she was gone, but the stench remained, a sharp, metallic smell, like fresh blood. Ali stumbled down the aisle toward the driver. His voice shook. "Did you see her?" The woman inside the bus. The driver's eyes darted nervously to the rearview mirror. His face was pale. "Don't talk about it," he hissed. "Keep quiet, or she hear you." Ollie's stomach dropped. The driver knew. The driver had seen her before. The journey dragged on. Hours felt like days. Passengers shifted uncomfortably in their seats, sensing something wrong, even if they didn't admit it aloud. Ollie refused to close his eyes. Every flicker of light outside, every shadow that stretched across the aisle, felt alive. At one point, he glanced at the window, only to see a reflection staring back at him. Not his reflection, her reflection. The woman in white was seated right beside him again, only in the glass. Her lips stretched into a slow, unnatural smile, even though her real face was still hidden behind her hair. Ali jerked away, his chest heaving. But when he looked back, his seat was empty. At dawn, the bus finally rolled into Islamabad terminal. Exhausted passengers yawned, gathered their luggage, and shuffled off. Ali's seat was still. His bag rested neatly on the floor. His phone and wallet lay on the cushion, but Ali was gone. The conductor called his name again and again, searching the bus. But there was no trace of him. No one had seen him leave. To this day, no one knows what happened to Ali. Some believe he got off at a stop in the middle of the night and disappeared into the darkness. Others whisper that the woman in white, the restless spirit wandering the highways, took him with her. And sometimes, late at night, passengers on that same route claim to see a young man sitting near the window seat, staring out into the dark road. So next time you travel at night, remember this story. Not all passengers on the road are human. This was Fear Files 24/7. Subscribe if you're brave enough.